This video is sponsored by Rocket Money.
After many years, 5 months, many moons, Agenda History 101, aka the Agenda Piece Report Cards, have finally returned with a new Dressrosa edition. Shout out to Not a Fraud. Shout out to everyone in the Agenda mailbox that has contributed to these, but mainly Not a Fraud is the Mozart, he is the Beethoven, he is the Michelangelo of this masterpiece of Agenda. So shout out to Not a Fraud. A lot of time and effort goes into these, so I appreciate it. So let's get started. Dressrosa, Agenda Piece Report Cards, Who's the Fraud? Let's go. And we're starting off with Lucy, aka Luffy, but it's really just Lucy. So here we go. And we got a new meter. Hold on, we got a -3. So we've got it. We've updated it. All right, so chapter 700, Lucy reveals his full name and social security number to Doflamingo over the phone. Yeah, well, that is a negative. It's just Luffy being an idiot. Franky tasks Luffy to keep his real identity hidden. He immediately fails that task. Typical Luffy. One-shots Loki's little brother in gear second. Giants or bums confirmed. The fact that we have confirmed Ooh, I hope this isn't spoilers for people, but hey, that's fine. Casually takes out Sai on his way to have a Conqueror's clash with Dungeon Child. Cold resaves Dungeon Child's head and wins the fight. Cold gives Sanji permission to attack Big Mom's ship, which is true. Gets absolutely embarrassed by Doflamingo. This was a legitimate round one. I'm trying to remember. Luffy's round one. He definitely legitimately had a round one. He definitely did. What was round one? Chat, remind me of round one? Freeing Law in the throne room. Ah, okay. Law in the throne room. Okay, I remember. Gets a 3-star bounty from Doflamingo, -1 for being less than Usopp. That is a no. You're gonna have to hold that. Takes out giant Pika arm with a grizzly magnum. I mean, a W's a W. It is Pika, but hey, what are we gonna do?
Chicken soup eating ass.
Mongolian beef meatball.
Egg foo young looking ass. Soo young looking ass. On the fan, boy. On my mama. Dark wind duck looking ass.
Slacker Watch gets lured into a mineshaft trap and must be saved by a Doflamingo clone. Journey almost ends by the hands of Kelly Funk. Zoro told his ass last arc to tighten up because this is the new world. This ain't it. The fact that Kelly Funk is even relevant in this stage is ridiculous to me. Can't take out a giant nutcracker in gear second. This implies Hydruden, a giant, is weaker than one of Doflamingo's throwaway nutcrackers, which is hilarious. Ooh, that is slander. And also, we've also mentioned the giants are just not, if I speak on the giants, listen. If I speak on the Giants, we're gonna have a lot to say. Nasty combo attack with Law lands on Doflamingo. The Red Hawk with radio knife. Is it Gamma Knife? No, Gamma Knife. Used this secret plan too early. Could have been used later for better timing. Extra deduction. It's a little Mickey, but hey. Gets pummeled by Doflamingo and troubled for a couple of chapters. That pissed me off. Yes, take that off. Takes a few hits from Bellamy, but only because he's refusing to fight back. Neutral, fair. Forced to repeat what happened in Jaya with Bellamy. He tried to talk reason. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I would have just folded Bellamy like a deck of cards. Conqueror's clash with Doflamingo, that was clean. Gets destroyed in a 1v1 against Doflamingo until he says the words Gear 4, followed by the longest break week ever. Agreed, that break week was so long. Oh my goodness. Toys with Doflamingo for a whole chapter while showing off Gear 4, major W's. Leo Bazooka doesn't quite take out Doflamingo, runs out of Gear 4, starting one of the worst arc countdowns of all time. Agreed. Oh, that was hell. Haki returns, saves Rebecca and Viola from Doflamingo's brutality. Cold defeats Doflamingo with a King Kong gun. Remember that. Cold attacks an admiral and mocks him for being blind by calling out names of his attacks before throwing them. That is crazy. Crazy disrespect. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. No more running from the admirals, then runs from an admiral. Typical Luffy. Earns himself a whole grand fleet, planting seeds for his eventual Yonko status. Saved a whole nation simply because he was given food. He did not care about Law's plan in the slightest. Extra points. Cold. Negative points. Stole Law's kill. Law really should have been the one to take out Dofi. I agree. Extra deductions. Victory was heavily reliant on Law doing massive internal damage to Doflamingo, Gyatts and the citizens stalling Dofi for 10 minutes, Doflamingo playing with his food constantly. I mean, listen. He not wrong. He's not wrong. +2 overall hero, Cold, right? And we got a little meme back. Okay, on to the next one. We've got Zoro. Okay, now Zoro didn't really do much besides cut rocks, but you know, here we are. Let's check it out. Get swords pickpocketed, then spends the next few chapters chasing a fairy. True, that should be a negative. I don't even know why that's neutral. Tries to attack Doflamingo but gets dropped into a crater by Fujitora. L. Manages to send a flying slash in order to pull himself out. True. Okay, W. Gets a 2-star bounty from Doflamingo. This is order telling us he is Kyros level. LOL. Calls Pika a pebble and begins the real fight. Aura Farmer counter 1. Now we've got the Aura Farmer counter. Here we go. Cuts the giant stone Pika in half with a 1080-pound Phoenix. Finally does some real damage while looking cool. Aura Farmer counter 2. Struggles to find a good way to fight Pika, so he licks his sword and talks some shit. Aura Farm counter 3. Watches his hydrant and goes extreme diss with Mamas. Then takes the opportunity to end the line. End the chapter with a cool line. Aura Farm counter 4. Needs to keep Pika from attacking the Royal Plateau. Spends multiple battles, wasting what little brain power he has to run through very basic plans. Shoot slashes, concludes it's far too effective, and then the emoji. Jumps on his back, can't reach, concludes he'll just fall into town. Yelled loudly in case they can't see the entire mountain coming their way, concludes they are too far to hear. Use a transponder snail to warn them. Figures out that he doesn't have one. Fly through the air and cut him down. F it, we ball. Aura Farm counter 5. Battle IQ -37. Yo, Zoro really is an Aura farmer. Oh my god, he is such a farmer. Zoro was just farming in Dressrosa. He didn't do anything but farm. Flies across the country, bisects Pika until the main body appears, defeats him only after he goes full body armament hockey. He's not beating the allegations. Cold. Remember that. Can't cut Dofi strings. That's a negative. Extra deduction. Aura farmed 5 times while fighting someone with a baby voice. Not difficult. +1, looks maxer. It's time to mog this orphan. Look at him, it's Garo. It's green-haired Garo. I love it. Zoro's was funny. Oh, here we go, Sanji. Life's been a good meal since I discovered Rocket Money. I used to be out here running the paycheck to paycheck gimmick, but it turns out I was subscribed to stuff that I didn't even use, bro. Like, what? Like, it was like 4 of them. I was getting alerts of upcoming charges I didn't even know were coming up to save me a hairy day in case the paycheck slides in. And best of all, I could even set up saving goals, so I had a target to go after. I was like, man, this app is great. Now I've got healthy savings, investment, and I even got a little side cash for a good meal. A muy bien meal at that. Rocket Money is an easy-to-use app that helps you save more money and manage your money better as well, all in one place. I was able to cancel unwanted subscriptions in just a couple of taps and actually lower my bills by finally seeing what I was spending versus what I was making, which wasn't good, I ain't gonna lie. Even helps you build up a budget based on your habits, not some bland spreadsheet. If you're ready to level up your finances, head to rocketmoney.com/JDLegend to download for free and potentially even unlock more features with premium. Or just click the link in the description. And I'm gonna catch you guys later. Loses Zoro after getting distracted and manipulated by Viola. Evades a sniper attack and protects Viola. Cold. Mini flashback so Sanji's getting played by Viola, similar to the Black Maria situation. It does not look good if I speak on that, but I won't speak. But if I do, I'll be in big trouble. Low dish Viola with Gooner brain still manages to rizz her up and get information about Dofi's plan. Terrible dating advice. Do not do this. Agreed. Stops Doflamingo from killing the weaker Straw Hats. Cold. Gets no diffed by Doflamingo. Doflamingo calling him strong doesn't change the fact that he got absolutely bodied. True. Very true. It does not. It really doesn't. And it's a shame because he really got folded. Got permission to strike back against Big Mom. Proves he has great caption potential with the eventual counterattack, which is true. Saves Brook and Momo by taking out Sheep's Head. This takes place in Zou, but still during the Dressrosa arc. Cold. Cold Mickey. We take those. Cold Mickey. Somehow managed to do a lot more than the Straw Hats despite only being there for 1/3 of an arc. Cold from Sanji. +1, efficient, and he's got the Rick and Morty guns. You love to see it. Yeah, all right. Cold for Sanji. Robin. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Oh,
Sorry. I just saw the picture. You'll never understand my pain. Sorry. Gomen, look. Yo, what is... Yo, Usopp slander is at a premium today. Off-screened and stitched to the ground by Tontadas for the sake of fan service. That is an L. Rightfully calls Usopp trash for lying to the overly naive Tontadas. Cold from her. Goes undercover as a Doflamingo minion. Cold from her. I feel like that would be a plus. Gets a 1-star bounty from Doflamingo. -1 for being less than Usopp. Agreed on that. Manages to catch Hakuba before he attacks her. An observation hockey level feat, but Oda still refuses to give her any type of hockey. Good call out on that. I appreciate that. Pulls up to protect Rebecca from Diamante, allowing Kyros to lock in. She did do that too. Protects Rebecca from falling spiked metal balls. Pretends she's not bleeding to death just so Kyros and Rebecca can have their moment. Robin kind of cooked this arc. I ain't gonna lie. Only Straw Hat who stayed in Dressrosa to not have a main fight. +2 better than I remembered. I agree. Robin didn't do bad. She didn't do bad. Franky, chapter 703. Declines eating Ace's devil fruit. He doesn't want to inherit the Willow Bum. Not a fraud, and his Ace slander is unparalleled. Tells Luffy he's gonna try and save this country, even if he has to ignore Captain's orders, arguably the catalyst for saving the country. True. Runs into Senior Pink, calls him a pervert before missing a coup d'event. My goat was temporarily off-screened. I did not remember this. He did get off-screened. Kisses the factory manager in order to shut her up. Abysmal dating advice. Do not do this. That is an L. That is an L. I ain't gonna lie. That is an L. Flexes manhood by engaging in nipple lights, I suppose. Has apparently tanked 30 suplexes from Senior Pink, all which hit the weak point of his back. That is a feat. Willingly takes Senior Pink's finishing move, gets up, wins the fight with Franky iron boxing. Clean W. Properly Aura farms and shows respect to his crying opponent. Finally destroys the factory with the Tondadas and then pushes Sea Stone Factory against the strings. Cold. So now we've got some extra deductions. Honestly, he effed around too much with the Senior Pink fight. There's a country collapsing around him and he's trying to outflex a divorced dad in a diaper. But why is that true? Though? Why is that true? Uses sensitivity to sad stories to gaslight the readers into thinking Senior Pink is deserving of our sympathy. Oof. That's a strong agenda. That is strong. That is a strong agenda. Being a man of his word, follows up with his plans to have drinks with Senior Pink in the future timeline. Cover page requests are canon if it fits the agenda. +2 hard boiled. Cold from him. Yeah, seeing Franky fit like that is actually funny, if that's actually how it is. But cold from Franky. That Franky art is funny. All right, next up, who we got? Twirly Hat Pirates Lackeys, aka the Didn't Do Shit Trio. Brooke tries to swap places with Momo on Nami's lap, gets beaten up by Nami. L struggles 3v1 with Giola for multiple chapters. Shared L. At least gets a W for being the one to take out Giola. Struggles against a low-level Kaido gifter. Needs Sanji to save the day. -3. Didn't do shit. Honestly, cold. It's about time. Brooke's been good for a minute, but the slander is fantastic to see. Hold that. Next up, we got Nami. Questionable fan service of Momo napping in her lap. True. Struggles 3-1 against Giola. Shared L. Zaps Viola after Brooke already took her out. It's too late to start stealing kills. -4. Didn't do anything. Sheesh. Okay. Chopper, admission of weakness, is mad at the idea that Sanji won't be there to protect the 1,000 Sunny Guard team. Struggles 3v1 with Giola for multiple chapters. Cries and continues to do nothing of value. Kudo bursts out of the area. -4. Did not do anything. I'm always here for a little bit of chopper slander. I ain't gonna lie. I always got time for a little bit of chopper slander. Always. Next up, Usopp. Okay. Lies to the Tontadas about his non-existent haki. Tries to steal Luffy's feat of taking out 50,000 fishermen. That is an L. Gasses his knowledge to the Tontadas despite not knowing anything at all. L. After hearing Riku's tragic story, wants to destroy the factory and nothing more while Franky and Robin wish to help. L. Stares in awe as he realizes a single Tontada can take him out at any moment. Another L. Convinces Leo that he's not fighting because it would be too easy for him to handle this. He's not even attempting to use logic at this point. Another L. After the Tontadas are all defeated, counting on Usopp, we get one of the top 5 worst but funniest Usopp moments of all time. Move it. Where to, pal? Have no fear. If anything goes wrong, I'll be there to get things right. Uso land, this is beyond our power. And he left them. Yeah, man. Yeah. Scum. Scummy. Has to be guilt tripped into doing even the slightest bit of heroism, but comes clean about being a bum. True. Accidentally takes out Sugar after she fed him a Tabasco sauce ball or whatever, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. The defeat of Sugar freed all the toys in the kingdom, leading to the country revolt and Doflamingo needing to change his plans. W says he planned it. His bum ass did not plan this extra deduction, cold from them. Accidentally acquires the title of God Usopp in a ridiculous but funny misunderstanding. It gets a 5-star bounty from Doflamingo. I wanted to spin this into a -2, but we'll give him this one. Yeah, a W is a W. Goat alert. Saves Luffy a law from Sugar by unlocking observation haki. Hits us with, Luffy, you don't need to know, as long as they're saved, just keep going. He gets a +3 because it's one of Usopp's best moments, not surprised. Gets a large 200 million berry bounty after the arc. +4, peaked. Yes, this is where Usopp peaked. This is it. He peaked. And he's a Joe. You got Soke King and Usopp as Joe Bros. I love it. Oh, we got 2 pages of law. Okay, wow, I just spoiled myself. That's crazy. All right, law, page 1. Okay, shocked that the Straw Hats didn't pay attention to his shitty bread opinion. His plan to have Doflamingo quit the Warlords backfired so hard he now has to face both Doflamingo and an admiral. Yeah, that wasn't a good meal for Law. I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't a good meal. Tells Fujitora the Straw Hats are in fact his allies and not his subordinates. Bro wants to die. Yeah, I remember that. Saves himself from the meteor Fujitora dropped on everyone, cold. Loses to Doflamingo and Fujitora, which is a tall order, but still in hell. I was about to say, I don't know if I'd give him an L for that, but all right. In a big brain play, swaps Caesar's heart for another random marine, allowing him to momentarily escape, clean. Stops Doflamingo from murdering Sanji and the others, clean. Takes opportunity to aura farm before getting destroyed by Doflamingo. He did. Is made an example of by Doflamingo in front of everyone in the town square. Yeah, Law got packed up by Dofi all arc. Gets a 3-star bounty on the big screen, -1 for being less than Usopp. Nasty combo attack with Luffy against Doflamingo in trouble, cold. Takes big damage after getting stabbed by Dofi's strings, yes. Fact, Law made up his backstory so people would feel bad for him. That is a crazy agenda. That is crazy. Yeah, made up is crazy. Made up is crazy. All right, man. Gets his arm cut off by Doflamingo, makes a huge deal out of it, knowing very well he'll reattach it later.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That's hideous. Law's version of Luffy will become the king of the pirates, cold. Played dead until he had the opportunity to hit Doflamingo with a gamma knife, then finishes the combo with a counter shock. Even though this fails, this damage heavily contributes to Luffy's eventual win, clean. Uses his amputated arm to take out one of the worst characters in the series, cold. Teleports Luffy to Doflamingo the instant Luffy's haki returns, saving Rebecca, clean from him. Goes out of his way to tell a retired fleet admiral that he was Corazon's favorite little Pookie. I mean, it's neutral, but still, you need to throw that out there. Okay, but we got more deductions. Okay, so heavy deductions. Took away so much focus from Straw Hats who desperately need it. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's not wrong. I love Law, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Was not the one to take out Dofi, extra deduction. I mean, I guess an L, yeah, all right. By the time the arc finished, we went from Straw Hats equals Law subordinates to Straw Hats equals allies to effectively Law equals Straw Hat subordinate. That is an L, I ain't gonna lie, that's another L. Basically had no agency this entire arc and gets emotionally sucked into the Straw Hats antics early on, gets emotionally manipulated by Doflamingo the entire time. Man, he is going in on Law. Another 2 hours, 200 hours of screen time to Trafalgar Law. Brother, Law is getting punished in these report cards. Despite many hiccups, his multi-layered plan to take out Doflamingo was ultimately successful, which is true. Sent his crew to Zoe so they'd be safe from Doflamingo, putting an entirely different crew in harm's way instead. He's such a rat for this, which is true. -3, attention whore. And this Dofi making him twerk. Oh my God, man. This is toxic. Nah, this is toxic. This is toxic. This is toxic. This is pure toxicity. That's toxic, bro. Oh, now we got Dofi. Here we go. We got Dofi. We got Dofi. Here we go. Because to me, I think Dofi cooked. Dofi is still, it's either Dofi or a Crocodile who are considered the best villains in One Piece. So it's one of these two. Beast with Luffy over the phone and taunts him with something he wants, cold. Intelligent use of his former Celestial Dragon status to have Law believe he really left the Warlord system, cold. Saves himself from the meteor Fujitora dropped on everyone. That is a cold feat. Captures Law, drops lore about the Don Quixote family and nobody asked. I mean, The lore drop is kind of clean. I'd give it a +1, but hey. Diabolical flashback of taking over Dressrosa. +2 from a villain's perspective. Agreed. Makes Riku beg for money from the citizens, takes the money from Riku, controls Riku like a puppet, and has him kill multiple citizens anyway, poses as a savior of the country. Doflamingo was a sick man. He was a real villain in Dressrosa. Like a serious villain. That man was, nah, man. Woo! Low Diff's Law crashes out, moves him into a different location before shooting him multiple times. Ricky! But doesn't kill him. Playing with his food counter 1. Yo. Tells Riku that Luffy won't make it out of the Coliseum. He already made it out. L. Destroys Luffy in round 1, then sets up the bird cage. Green. Clone saves Luffy and Law from Kelly Funk's trap. Playing with his food counter 2. Hit by a nasty combo by Luffy and Law. L. Okay. Brushes off attack. Casually starts beating up Luffy and Law. Uses Bellamy as a puppet to do so. Playing with his food counter 3. Yeah, alright, man. Stops attacking Luffy and Law to yap about his backstory that nobody asked him about. Playing with his food counter 4. Kills Corazon but doesn't realize the Opie fruit user is 2 feet away from him. L. Cuts off Law's arm. W. Takes a gamma knife to his internal organs. Eats a jet stamp from Luffy. Then takes a final counter shock in a single devastating sequence. Negative, like super negative. Negates previous L by using his devil fruit powers in a creative way to perform an internal first aid. Clean, so it cancels it out. Nice. Conquers Hockey Clash with Luffy. Green. Destroys Gear 2 and Gear 3. Mocks them because they're weak and slow respectively. Cold. Gets toyed with Gear 4 Luffy for an entire chapter, mocking it for its goofy appearance. This guy epic sucks, actually. Literally the coolest thing ever. Cold me. Turns the tide of the fight with his devil fruit awakening until he is hit by Luffy's Leo Bazooka. Gets up from Leo Bazooka. Insane durability. True, Dofi's durability was crazy. Let's be honest, chat. Starts killing everyone in his way to get to Luffy. Cue epic bad guy OST. Yeah, he was murdering people like non-stop. Taunts Rebecca and Viola just long enough for Luffy to come save the day. Playing with his food counter 5. Yes. He does that a lot. He needs to stop. Attempts to control Luffy like a puppet after he regained his haki. Counter 6. Yes, he keeps doing it. Loses the clash with Luffy, thus loses the fight. Extra L's. Then we move on. Extra deductions. 6 times he played with his food instead of attempting to secure the victory. Extra deduction. Country proved to be held together so poorly that it would be dismantled if anything happened to Sugar. Someone who lost to Usopp. That is a good point. Bad contingency plans. That's a great point. Best One Piece villain to this day. I say Crocodile, but it's not a hot take, so I'm gonna say it. It is what it is. In a twisted way, generally cares for all who he calls family and will look out for their interests. It is a W. This cover page request is canon. I don't care. Oh, and it's Dofi putting a bandage on a bird? I mean, hey. Giving him an extra, I don't know, man. All right, I don't know about the cover page, but I get it, whatever. +2, certified yapper. Dofi is a certified yapper, unfortunately. Fujitora makes a debut playing roulette, all while getting taken advantage of for being blind. I thought he was supposed to have amazing observation haki. That's actually funny. That's funny, and that's true. Tries to give Law the easy way out, then drops a meteor for the, for the hell of it. Blocks Zoro and sends him into a huge hole. Sends him into a hole in the ground, which he escapes from. Mogs Doflamingo by telling him he's gonna strip his title to his face, clean from Fuji. Goes overboard with a meteor, again, this time hoping it doesn't hurt civilians. Gets serious once Sabo calls him out for not taking this fight seriously. Let's be real, he still didn't get serious. I mean, no, he didn't. Let's be honest. I don't think either of them were serious. Helps by pushing back against the strings. Could have done so much more. Yes, he could have. Bows down to King Riku and apologizes on behalf of the government. Cold from him. Shouting match with the Magma Brat. I remember that. That should be a green. Rolls 1 on the dice 2 days in a row. Yeah, he's being toxic. Advanced headcanon. Fujitora used gravity powers to manipulate the dice until Sengoku showed up. I agree with that theory. Gets pitied by Luffy, who calls out all his attacks since he is blind, then becomes a Luffy fanboy by the end of the chapter. Agreed, that isn't an L. Litters in the ocean. Another L. Agreed, we're petty here. Didn't do anything for the Admiral agenda at the time. We had zero clue how strong he was by the end of the arc, which is true. We still really don't know how strong he is. Achieved his goal of using this incident to abolish the warlord system. Cold, +1, very lucky. Fujitora live reaction, and it's just a black screen. That is, I don't understand that. Oh, he's wow. Wow. Wow, that's toxic. Wow. That caught me off guard. That's toxic. That's just toxic. Sabo easily beats Burgess in a clash in the arena. True. Destroys the arena with Dragon Breath attack. possibly advanced armament, steals the Marimero, amidst chaos and becomes Ace 2. Funny. Somehow manages to master the fruit pretty much immediately. That is also funny because he really did. Gets a 3-star bounty from Doflamingo, -1 for being less than Usopp. Cold. No diss of Vice Admiral by crushing his face. Yeah, he got finished. Vice Admiral stocks continue to drop. Classes with Fuji on and off for a few chapters. Cold. Defeats Burgess with Flame Dragon King. Spun him with a flick of a wrist, which we later learned permanently disfigures his face. Yeah, that's crazy. Burgess really got washed by Sabo. He got washed. Made up a convenient story about having amnesia. He didn't want to have to save Donut Boy's butt. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so we've got, so at least he didn't just do it to Law, he did it to Sabo. I'll take that, all right? I'll take that. If we're running this gimmick, it is what it is. Run the gimmick. Oda didn't explain him into the story well enough. As a standalone character, Sabo is cool, especially his design, but still feels like a cheap way to undo Ace's death with the way he was handled. Extra deduction, okay, fair enough. Another one. Bounty was revealed to be an underwhelming 602 million berry bounties, low for being the second in command to the world's worst criminal. This was also revealed during Whole Cake Island after we knew the billion-berry bounties existed for some other Yonko commanders. That is an L. He is slandering the spirit out of Sabo. For someone that really didn't do anything wrong in this arc, this is crazy agenda. +1, Milk a Toast Ace. This is crazy. This is a Togashi meme. Togashi! Why is Sabo dreaming about Ace? All right, we got Bartolomeo. Off-screen's Maynard, this single-handedly crushed any Vice Admiral agenda. Yes, Maynard getting packed up was crazy. Watches everyone fight while he lays down in the middle of the arena. Toys with discount Jinbei. Blocks fists with invisible barrier, then takes a piss mid-fight. He was wild for that, I agree. Easily blocks an attack that can supposedly take out a Yonko. Wins round, cold. Revealed to be an even bigger Luffy fanboy than Katakuri, cuts out the tongue of someone who talked trash about him. -2 for the biggest aura drop of all time. Agreed. Incoherently fanboys over Zoro's excessive aura farming for 3 chapters. Yep, he like some of y'all on Twitter. Protects Bellamy from Dellinger element. Stop. I can't wait to get to Bellamy's. I just can't wait. And gets him medical attention. He didn't have to do it. He didn't. Gets blown up by Gladius because he was fanboying over the Straw Hats instead of focusing on the fight. Yes. Gets blown up by Gladius again. Barrier was used up on the stairs he made for Luffy to advance. Cold. Protects Robin from Gladius's attack. Misinterprets her saying thank you as be my slave. Down bad. Yeah, problematic. Defeats Gladius while copying Luffy's pistol attack, which was clean. Uses barrier to push against the strings. Neutral. +3 Straw Hat Simp. Agreed. Now we're on to Cavendish. Talks about how he thinks he can kill Luffy. Doesn't have the observation I get to figure out he's actually talking to Luffy about this. Clean. Cavendish is just a yapper. Gets mad at Luffy for something out of Luffy's control. Popularity snag. Yep. Sword attack caught by Rubber Man's hands. Yeah, that is wild, I ain't gonna lie. Sticks up for Rebecca, who's getting booed by the crowd, calls them all cowards who won't even step into the ring. He didn't have to do this, which is true, he didn't, but he did. Hakuba takes out basically the entire arena, doesn't win the match, nor gets credit for the victory. Has a streak of complete utter delusion in front of Luffy, Zoro, and Law, who he'd get packed up by. Turns into Hakuba and takes out Dellinger. Dellinger got washed. Advanced schizophrenic moment after being caught by Robin. Effectively becomes the leader of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. I don't know why, which is true. +1 needs to be medicated. I agree. Cabbage. Yes, perfect for Cavendish. Sai casually takes out the Funk Brothers in the arena, gets casually kicked out of the arena by Luffy, who wasn't even focused on him. That is an L. Falls into the dungeon that gets turned into a toy by Sugar off screen. Oh, it is an L. But I like Sai. Accidentally almost makes Baby 5 unalive herself. That was sad, I ain't gonna lie. He wilded out. Reshapes Danchin Chao's head to protect Baby 5. Awakens the secret of Hashoken. Danchin Chao has to have severe brain damage at this point. He does. Takes out Lao G after awakening his power. The Dragon Nail Kick was cold. Easy to miss panel of Sai getting crushed by Pika in order to save Baby 5. Okay, but why is that an L? Became both the 13th leader of the Hoppo Navy and the captain of the 3rd ship of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. After the adventure Dressrosa, not gonna lie, that is an impressive resume. It is. They're missing one thing, right? They're missing one thing. It's +1 overemployed. The moment where the Doflamingo family was being taken away, and Sai told Baby 5 she can stay with him, that should be a double green flag. That should be a double +3. I'm not gonna lie. That was some real grown man behavior from Sai. We're missing that. That was grown man stuff right there. I'm officially putting this too. I'm putting this should be +3 for Sai. It should be +4 for Sai. I disagree. Yeah, Sai a grown man. We respect Sai in this house. We respect Sai. Sai one of the only real men in One Piece. Like real grown man, like man taking care of his business. Yeah, no, Sai a grown man. That's a +3. Shout out to him. Not Senior Pink. Senior Pink ain't a real man. This Sai, that's a real man right there. Rebecca. I just saw that Sakura picture. Sheesh. Okay, tried to trick Luffy by having the prisoners hold him, gets no diffed while he's eating food, wins her block even though Cavendish took out everyone while she just barely avoided him, possibly observation haki. Tries to attack Diamante with a sword that has no edge, first time she's actually attacked anyone, takes a big hit from Diamante, yep, gets a 1-star bounty from Doflamingo, +0 because this makes sense. Gets bullied by Diamante until Kyros jumps in, Sakura moment. Gets puppeted by Doflamingo until Lucy comes and saves her, another L. The endless Rebecca flashbacks, even though there are only a few instances in the manga, these flashbacks were shown 48 times in the anime. And no, that is not an exaggeration. -5, worst princess unless you count Yamato. I agree wholeheartedly. 48 times. Rebecca actually might be one of the most disliked characters in the community. I don't even think we think about that. Another -1 for the fan service. Yeah, the Sakura picture is crazy. Kyros, here we go. Toy soldier tried to rescue Rebecca's mom but failed. Took Rebecca under his wing and protected her for years. I don't know. I don't know if that's neutral or green, but it's fine. I'll let it go. Takes out a bunch of fodder while he's a nerfed one-legged toy. True. Frees himself by cutting off his leg just to immediately get turned into a toy. Flashback. Very unfortunate, but it is an L. It is an L. Revealed to be one of the few good fathers in the series. Cuts off the head of Doflamingo, ending the arc here. What a very believable cliffhanger. Hashtag it was a clone. Yep, we remember that. Gets a 2-star bounty from Doflamingo, +1 for being 0 level. Cold. Saves Rebecca from Diamante. Cold. Coldly stands his ground as hundreds of metal spike balls fall on him. Then takes out Diamante. This pain is nothing compared to what he went through. A real man. Cries as his 10-year battle is finally over. He's earned this breakdown. Spent years and years protecting Rebecca as a toy, even though she didn't even know who he was. Kuma has some competition. +6, second best dad. Bedge drops down to 3rd. I agree with every single statement that was mentioned here. Kyros does not get enough love and respect in this community. This is an accurate representation of a real man. Real man number 2. We got real man Sai and real man Kyros, the rock of that family. That is a man. One of the anchors. One of the real anchors of Dressrosa. He does not get talked about enough. And shout out to the agenda report cards and Not Without a Fraud for highlighting this. He does not get talked about enough. Whitebeard not even making it to the top 3 dads. Oh, Frosty, don't start that, because there's some nasty things people got to say about Whitebeard.
Oh, God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Okay, chat. Chat, we gotta prep for this one. Okay. Chat, we gotta prep. Chat, we gotta prep. Yo. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, nigga. Yo, that image is finishing me. You killed the man, but not the idea. Whew, here we go. Gets caught a pervert by Franky and dodges his coup d'etat. Hit with a Franky rocket while brushing teeth with his shoe. Says he will avoid and swim when he wants to. I don't know how to score this one. Yeah, I don't know either. Just leave it alone. Apparently off screens Franky momentarily, ? Stops Franky from destroying Factory, doesn't care about Factory, just wants to settle score as men. Okay, green. Suplexes his own ally because she was interfering with his manly fight. Ridiculous. Flexes manhood, then chucks diapers at Franky. Okay. Has willingly tanked 30 strong hammers at this point. That's actually crazy considering what one did to a CP9 agent pre-time skip. Cold feet, true. Figures out Franky's back is his weakness. Baby Buster was still not enough to take him out, so he loses the fight. -L. Senior Pink flashback. Here we go. Lies about not being a pirate to a girl he marries and has a child with. That is an L. Missed his baby sickness because he's a pirate. Baby dies. Massive L. Lies catch up to him, and Rushin, which is his wife, goes into a permanent coma. Dresses up as a baby to make her smile, presumably does this for years to atone for his mistakes. I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy, question mark? Another -2. Still somehow got more character development than most of the post-time skip Straw Hats. -6, registered offender. Bellamy. Oh man. I just Gigabomb alert. Reintroduction is able to identify Luffy as the man who derailed his career. Luffy doesn't even remember his name, calls him Malo. Evolved from his first encounter with Luffy and actually went to Sky Island. Lied about hurting the Skypians to Aura Farm in front of a man who doesn't even remember his name. Shows us how he's evolved by using the exact same fighting style, LOL. Takes out Abdullah and Jeet in the arena. Oh my god, that's the green. Abdullah and Jeet, okay. Manages to grab Bartolomeo but gets blindsided by King Punch. Hey, neutral's a neutral. Gigabomb alert. Gigabomb alert. Gets off-screened by Dellinger, the same guy who Zoro reduced to a joke in chapter 747. Getting off-screened by Dellinger is crazy. Getting off-screened by Dellinger is crazy. Goes directly to Doflamingo to ask why he tried to have him killed. Sauceless. After being beaten up by Doflamingo, gets used like a puppet to fight. Just kill me is not a good look. Sorry to the 3 Bellamy fans out there. Sauceless. Yeah, agreed. Sorry. No longer physically controlled by Doflamingo's strings, but still attacks Luffy because of his pride. Knows he's about to get low diff by Luffy, but attacks anyway. Gets one shot as predicted. To this day, Luffy has only thrown 2 punches at Bellamy. That is sad, to put it into context. Managed to get more character development than 90% of the Straw Hats. Slandered to the Straw Hats again. Got so humiliated that he quit his pirate career to paint pirate flags. -12, unemployed. And that meme of him with a job application is crazy. Crazy Bellamy slander. It's crazy, but honestly earned. Earned, not given. Earned. He earned that slander. He has as much as Big Mom. I think the record, who has the record? Is it Kaido? Kaido's got the worst score, right? Or was it Odin? Kaido had -14, didn't he? Yep, that's what I thought so. All right, man, that's it for the agenda piece report cards. Let me know in the comment sections what arc you would like to see next, and make sure if you haven't seen the other agenda piece report cards, I will put a playlist at the end of these videos. You can go through all of them so you can catch up with the lore. Until next time.